Hi, this is Christy, the woman in charge of the backend at OP Host. Going to go through our game panel, who made this, but this is part two of our basic configuration. So let's get started. First, we go over here to our game monitor and head over to 7 days where we was before, just to get a good glimpse at what's going on. So we're going to edit configuration files. What is all this? Oops, nope, sorry. Edit. All right, and that shows that screen. So let's go over here so we can compare the two. We went over to what each little field does and the custom settings for each page, which is actually back here, just so we can get a good glimpse. We'll go ahead and open them both at the same time. And the arc one's right here, custom fields, open that over there. And I'm kind of annoyed at this, so I want to go here and change my theme. Nah, I'll keep it there. Whatever. All right, so arc. And here's 7 days. These are normal builds where you can go and fill out your game server name, blah, 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 blah. And Arc, what's different about the startup of Arc specifically, as you can see here, you can select how many players you have. This isn't really editable here. You can select what you want, random again or Navis game, then extra parameters. On Arc, you have the same thing with how many players. You can choose which map. Then you also have all these other settings, which is Archon, which is remote connection, like telnetting and PuTTY, etc. Then you have this little option that enables you to update automatically on all mods you decide to include on it. And server logs is pretty obvious what that is. And if it's not, that just tells you what's going on in the game, whether it be a player joining or the game starting up, etc. Prevent offline PvP. Well, that's for structures if you don't want people to go in there and destroy other people's structures. And the interval, it pretty much tells you what it is. Prevent tribe alliances. That prevents you from allying one tribe with another. And that's kind of your own personal preference. This is to be able to fly in caves, an alternate save directory if you have another directory in mind you want to save, like, I don't know, a saves directory. You just go right there and you type in saves, and presto, it'll save it to saves instead. No transfer from filtering. That prevents other clusters or other servers on the same server from going into this without the same cluster ID, which is this. And you could name your cluster. And a cluster is a group of servers put together, and you can transfer from one node thingy in the game to another. And here's the override for what game server specifically you want to connect it to. And you can prevent downloading from other clusters to this server, or from the same cluster from one server to another server. And you have various reasons for doing that. But today we're discussing the difference between this one and this one. So we got the same game server, same password thing, FTP. It looks pretty much the same. The control password is used for Archon on this one. And on this one, looks like it's used for the same thing. But in some games, it's also used alternatively to log into admin. And on Arc, it is used to go on an admin as well. Then of course you got your FTP login, which is whatever you want to name it, and log into your actual server to upload and download files, and the password's right there. This one, however, is completely different, and this is custom settings, custom fields. And a control panel, that's just a web-based interface. We talked about that before. And telnet port, EAC, the game name, which is the seed of the game. For random generation, you can tell how many to spawn. On Arc, you only have an Archon port. And that tells basically what port you want to connect to, and that shouldn't be edited by most people, unless you know exactly what ports are open or not open. That's the main differences in configuring the panels in there. This has been part 2. Bye!